Madam Chair. Welcome, Ms. Weichert. I noticed you're planning to reorganize a whole bunch of departments from the Postal Service to OPM, but curiously absent on the list was the Department of Defense, which has a $700 billion budget, and our committee seen a report just a couple of years ago saying $125 billion could be saved in efficiency. So I'm just wondering why it's missing.
So we looked at the areas where, again, mission, service, and stewardship were having the most challenges in moving forward. I absolutely appreciate the concerns, and we did look at GAO studies in that realm. In order to focus this activity, we wanted to look at those things where we had enough information, we had the ability.
Okay, I'm going to get you this report. You check it out. It's about $125 billion that can be saved almost overnight by improving efficiencies there. I represent Maryland's 8th Congressional District, which is home to more than 88,000 federal employees who've come under some harsh rhetorical treatment by this administration, but also some attacks on their pay and benefits. And also I hear regularly from federal employees who love their jobs and love the country, as do you, and you're committed to your government job, whose mission has been interfered with for political reasons they believe. And I'm wondering, what are you doing now, or what are you hoping to do in the future to protect the federal workforce, the integrity of the civil service, and to prevent corruption by political interference?
So I think it's a great question, and again, I will say it as many times and as many ways as I can, that it is enlightened self-interest for us as the largest enterprise employing people to really understand and internalize the importance of the federal worker to the business.
Cool, so that's your value, but do you have any specific actions that you're taking to protect the federal workforce today?
Absolutely. So one of the cross-agency priority goals that was released in the President's management agenda is looking explicitly at people in the workforce in the 21st century and the civil service reforms we need to do that. And we're focusing very heavily on the areas where the employees themselves have said that, you know, the merit systems principles that were enshrined in the 1978 Civil Service Reform Act, where they're not actually being aligned with.
All right, good. I got to cut you off there because I got a few more questions, but I'd love to hear more specifics from you about that. The administration's been rolling back proudly workplace, consumer, and environmental protections deemed to be overly intrusive. For example, Mr. Mulvaney has ordered that the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau drop enforcement against payday lenders. Do you have any plans to somehow honor the commitment of the CFPB to protect borrowers in the wake of that announcement?
So I am not involved in the activities of the CFPB.
Okay. Similarly, you might not be involved in this one. What about in the area of HUD? Do you have any plans to follow through on HUD's commitment to fair housing in the wake of the administration's nullification of the fair housing rule that had been promulgated to address patterns of discrimination and segregation?
So I can't comment on that specifically.
I saw yesterday there's a rule called the hog carcass cleaning rule, which says, quote, all hair, scruff, and dirt, including all hoofs and claws, shall be removed from hog carcasses, and the carcass is thoroughly washed and cleaned before incision is made for evisceration or inspection. This is for food protection. Sounds like a pretty good idea to me. But the Department of Agriculture just posted its intent to repeal this rule last month. Do you know how that particular mechanism of deregulation would work to protect consumers, or is it that being done at the behest of the slaughterhouse operators?
I am not familiar with that.
Okay. Can you tell us what the role of the Heritage Foundation was in the development of this plan?
So there was no specific involvement other than the review of the materials that are listed on 120.
Do you know of anything that the Heritage Foundation recommended that was not incorporated in the final plan?
I don't have the plan in front of me, but if you actually compare our document and the document that we reference, there's a significant difference.
Okay. I didn't see it, but thank you very much. I appreciate it.
It's page 128 of the report.
I'll check it out. Thank you.
Gentleman's time has expired.